Broadcasting now.
Got it. There we go. Got it. Go, Doug.
All right. What do we want to hit first? So I heard some news going back to the Elon Musk and the Twitter situation that the board of directors has approved Elon Musk's offer. And so I think the next step, it has to go to a vote for the Twitter shareholders. And I think still out there with a Twitter buyout is Elon is still asking for the bot numbers. So they are looking, or he is looking for Twitter to provide information about how many bots are out there. I think there's a large discrepancy still of how many accounts they say are bots and how many accounts Elon thinks are bots. So have you guys heard any more updates or any more news on the Elon Musk / Twitter drama?
I haven't heard anything.
And surprisingly, it's been fairly quiet over the last several weeks.
Yeah, I just heard that, basically that the synopsis that you said, and that's basically all I heard as well. Which, like you said, it's pretty interesting that now that's all quieted down and that's not much of a story now anymore for whatever reason.
And speaking of quieting down, I think a few weeks ago, when it might even been a month ago, but I believe Elon said that there were going to be some negative things probably brought out about him in the press. I know some people were surmising that, you know, the standard sexual assault claims against him were going to be made. I think there is a former employee perhaps that was saying Elon exposed himself to her. I haven't heard really much detail on that, but it was a little bit funny how Elon kind of estimated that this kind of stuff was going to happen. You know, let the smear campaign start. One of the other
They
pieces,
did it with the Ghislaine Maxwell. Remember, they tried to put out that photo that she photobombed him in.
she released that, or did somebody else release that?
I'm not sure exactly who. I think somebody. I think it was already online, and people kept posting it up on Twitter as a response to him every time he talked about the Epstein case, and they'd say, "Oh yeah, we'll look at this." But you also had those people from SpaceX come out, and they were talking about Elon and some of his ideas, and then he fired them. So that's a kind of another big scandal going on right now. Is he's firing some SpaceX employees for their disagreement with his beliefs.
Yeah,
and they tried to make you think out of it. Yeah.
They came out and said something negative about, what was it, just an opinion about him or something that he had said, or I didn't read the details of that one.
I believe that they were just speaking critically of how he ran the company and his beliefs. And so he's like, okay, you're fired.
Which is kind of interesting. I mean, he's making the big claim of being full free speech, right? Taking over Twitter and allowing both the left, the right to be equally pissed off, everybody to be able to say what they want to say. So for 3 people inside one of his companies to say something negative about him or disagree with him and they get fired, I don't know. I don't know if that's such a good look for Mr. Musk.
I think it's more the critical, not necessarily their freedom of speech, but if if I had an employee, I think I'd be okay with him saying, yeah, I'm pro-abortion, I'm anti-abortion. But if he starts saying that I was a horrible boss and I was an idiot, then at that point I might fire him.
Yeah, and it depends like what exactly was said or what exactly happened. It could have been their disgruntled employees that just said shit, and he just said like, "Hey, you don't want to work here anymore. That's fine. Don't." Or who knows what the actual story is, or if there is anything, but any validity behind those stories or not. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
No, that's probably a good distinction. If you had an employee that was being subordinate in a way, inside an employer-employee relation, I suppose those would be grounds for dismissal. versus just saying, I disagree with your political stance.
Yeah, I mean, kind of
So-
like the Kraken CEO, that Jesse, who basically told some of the people that work there, like, hey, this is the direction that Kraken's going. This is what we're going to do. If you guys don't like this, here's 4 months pay, but leave, because
That's nice.
we're not putting up with that. So yeah, so it could have been something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting move. I've never heard of a
Right.
company doing that.
Yeah. Well, I think it just causes so many issues within the company and stuff like that. And so he's basically, they just get sick of it. Like, yeah, tired of dealing with this stuff. So, hey, just don't work here anymore, because this is what we're doing and this is how it works. And I don't know why more companies don't do that, rather than cater to all the bizarre, crazy shit that it's coming out now, and having different months and different things and different people changing in different forms and animals. Just say, hey, we're doing this. We're not going to celebrate any of this other shit. If you want to on your own time, that's great. That's fine. But we have a business to run. We're going to do this. What, R2D2?
Your microphone cut out again.
Yeah.
You guys get Juneteenth off?
Still
So
couldn't
messed
hear you.
up.
Hello? Is it working?
It's a good special effects. How do you get that to do that?
Yeah.
It's the government doing it to me. They didn't want to silence me.
Okay, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, keep talking that government stuff. Now you can be heard.
I'm on a list now.
You were already on the list. But-
Jesus Christ.
I'm sure I
know.
will.
How
I'm
you make it
on a
throughout
lot
the
of
day.
lists.
So that
But
last, go ahead.
did you guys get a day off for Juneteenth?
Yeah. Yes.
I did not.
Our company announced that we were going to now celebrate Juneteenth. So we got, what was that, Monday, June 20th off,
Same here.
which was fine. I mean, if they want to add that to the calendar and give us a day off, I'm fine with that. But in order to make room for that, they took away the day after Thanksgiving that we normally get as
Yeah,
a
same here.
holiday. So it's like, that's in my mind kind of bullshit. But I mean, if you really want to support that holiday, just add it to the holiday list.
I agree.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Nope.
did that to us too. We well, it's the day after Thanksgiving.
So if you had to say like one of the traditional whitest kind of holidays in the calendar year, maybe Christmas would be, but Thanksgiving, celebration of what that
White
means
power.
back in colonial times. Yeah. So, I imagine eventually they're just going to wipe that one all the way off the calendar, but let's take one of those days
That
off.
was a day of solidarity between the Native Americans and the Pilgrims. That
No, you're way off. No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Idiot.
It's all about
I
white
was, I
power.
was I grew up in public schools. Get them.
That.
I think Kalani's being swatted.
Possibly. Which would be kind of funny because that background wouldn't show us anything. All we see is like this little rifle thing come out from the back.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't be able to tell that
Right.
his wife's holding it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be awesome if Jessica did that like right now.
She would.
So the other bit of news that I heard related to Elon Musk, this one I heard this morning, and I was surprised I hadn't heard it before, but apparently his son is now announcing that he is transitioning from a male to a female. His son's name is, I believe, Xavier, and now he's going to be known as
Vivian.
Vivian. That's right. I was going to go with Eileen, but yes, Vivian. Correct.
Good night.
So I can just imagine that boy's mother and Elon do not get along, and
Have you
she
seen her?
is. No, I have not.
I'm not sure if it's his ex-wife or his current wife, or if he even has an ex-wife. this woman kind of looks like she, if I wanted to change my gender and become a witch, I would get the black hair and the tattoos and the claws and the pentagrams all over and stuff. That's what she looks like. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if we can find a picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could probably find one, right?
Yeah, he has four or five ex-wives. He
Oh,
has
does he?
quite a few. Your microphone's starting to flake out.
I know why. I know why.
Because you got aluminum foil wrapped around it or something. Yeah, that's much better.
The foil around my head. I keep my hat lined with foil.
Oh, yeah, of
I think
course.
it's
Yeah,
interacting with the microphone.
good.
Oh my goodness! Look at those wives.
Yeah, I don't know which one is her.
Oh, here it is. Musk.
Oh.
And
I think I see.
Yeah,
One.
I have one too. Good thing I'm not smart enough to figure out how to share my screen.
I got that one. I don't know
yeah,
if that's one of her wives.
No, that's Grimes. That's his last one. So
Oh,
that's the
what's-
one. So the baby with her doesn't even have a name. It's like X ampersand. The name is super weird. That's his latest one. Whoa, wait, yo.
Oh, wait. Oh, I don't know what that is.
that's an ocular migraine.
Exactly.
You got to be careful with those. All right, I struck out.
Let's see if I can do it. You see that?
No. Oh,
Yep.
yes.
So yeah, I believe that's her because this is part of the article. And so like this is this other kid's name with that last one that Doug had up, Grimes, this XAE space A.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Looking at her, I would have called her Grimy Musk. Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
She's pretty
Grimy Musk.
famous. She's like a singer, but she's like has kind of some Satanistic type stuff in her videos and stuff like that. So it's another bizarro type thing.
So how old is that Xavier?
17, 18. I think it says 18-year-old daughter requested to legally change her name to Vivian Gina Wilson. She's 18. I thought it even said she was a twin. Yeah, referring to Vivian or her twin brother Griffin Musk.
So interesting. I mean, they're going to try to find anything in Elon Musk's past or Elon Musk's future, as it seems now.
Right,
And,
kind of like Trump.
Yeah.
I think
Have
they
you guys
both
seen how
knew.
tall Barron Trump's gotten?
No.
That boy is 6'8".
Yeah.
He's a giant.
Are you sure? 6'8"?
Yeah, I saw a picture of him next to this lady, and she's like down here, and he's like leaning forward.
I saw
Crazy
him
looking.
next to Trump, and he did look really tall. But at 6'8", that's awful tall.
Yeah, and well, Trump is what 6'3", 6'4"?
Probably.
I think. Let me see how tall Trump is. Because that boy is, and he's only 16 too, so he's still growing.
I think you're right. Barron Trump, 6'7",
Jesus Christ.
at 16 years old.
He's gonna be an NBA player.
Well, and Trump's other son's pretty tall. Not the Don Jr., but the other one you never kind of hear about.
I can't hear you. Your microphone's wigging out again.
Ivanka Trump's pretty tall for a woman, though. Maybe that's where he gets his hype. Or no, what's Trump's wife's name?
Melania,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah.
yeah, I can now.
You hear me? Yeah, Melania is pretty tall. Even his daughter, if you look at his daughter, she's pretty tall. Ivanka is.
Yeah,
Okay, anything else on Musk?
no,
I
nothing.
got nothing.
Yeah,
Other
surprisingly,
than life is weird.
surprisingly, I didn't think we had very much, but we chatted for a little bit about that. Now, I know we also had some movement on a Second Amendment ruling, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's huge. Apparently, Supreme Court struck down or ruled against New York's concealed weapon preference laws. Apparently, they needed to be approved for what they wanted, their proof of use, or why they needed a firearm. They had to prove that they needed it versus, so it was sort of becoming, friends of the county commissioner or whatever would get his firearm license. The average Joe would get nothing. And so now it was ruled illegal that they can't do that. Everybody should have access to a concealed permit without having to show a reason for having it.
Right. They said that should affect a lot of the other states in that area as well, or that have similar issues, since obviously the Supreme Court ruled on it. So that'll be helpful in that aspect as well. So that is good.
Rumor is that some judges and stuff in California are saying they're just gonna not enforce the law or not enforce the Supreme Court ruling.
Well,
Right.
a lot of people in California, district attorneys, even down to the police level, aren't enforcing the law there. So why
True.
would this make any difference?
If this makes you feel better, though, I do have Oron McIntyre has created an aggregation of angry tweets over this ruling. And
I think this would be useful.
The first one is Keith Olbermann. And it says, yeah, right. It has become necessary to dissolve the Supreme Court of the United States. The first step is for a state the court has now forced guns upon to ignore the ruling. Great, you're a court. Why and how do you think you can enforce your rulings? I don't know. And I'm seeing this a lot to where people are saying, well, how are they going to enforce the Supreme Court rulings? It's a state. The state can do what they want. It's like, yeah. Have you guys ever seen the movie Mississippi Burning?
I believe I did see it.
Yeah, they sent the military down for civil rights. The FBI came down. They had National Guard taking people in. That's how they enforce it. And it's been done before.
Yeah, they certainly can do it at that level. Now, I think there's all kinds of financial pressure they can put on states from a federal level.
Yeah.
With Biden at the helm, I'm not sure they would do that. If someone else were in office other than Biden, I could see something like that playing out. It is kind of interesting that if you have states out there basically thumbing their nose at the Supreme Court or the federal laws or federal rulings, saying, well, I don't care what you've ruled, we're going to do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
They should. That is kind of the way it's supposed to be, though, because like, say it's something else, and say it's not a gun, say it's I don't know, something else, but it's supposed to be that way, where the state laws are supposed to be supersede the federal laws, and because the state is closer to the people, then like city law supersedes state law, that type of thing. That's technically how it's supposed to work. Granted,
no, it's constitutional first. So the constitutional
well, right,
Bill
that's
of
what I was going to say. Yeah, but the
trumps it
Constitution,
all.
yes, yeah. But that's the one caveat. This is a constitutional right. This isn't just like a federal law. Yeah.
Right.
That's where it kind of gets weird.
And I heard some people making an argument, about the abortion ruling that was coming down, saying, well,
Right.
at the federal level, you're going to tell us that we have to give these gun rights to people and forget what the state says. But on the abortion side, you're going to kick that back to the states. And
Right.
the
Yeah.
big
So, like,
distinction there is abortion is not guaranteed on
in the
any of the amendments or the
Yeah.
Constitution.
Yeah.
So
That's the difference.
that's a big distinction.
So the funny thing about that is that ruling is coming out tomorrow. The Roe versus Wade thing for the Supreme Court, I think, is tomorrow. And
Oh.
I've
Have they
heard
said
that.
that before though?
No, but I heard they were handing out flyers to try and get people amped up, and they were calling it like a night of.
Oh, right. That Jane, whatever.
Yeah, the
Jane
Jane
Rage,
group.
whatever.
Yeah, so they're trying to get everyone fired up, and so this is going to make them go nuts, especially with the Supreme Court and all this shit. And then Doug, like you just said, they'll say that exact same thing you said. Which you let the gun laws do this, but we can't do that, and so Supreme Court's like it's out of its control. It's crazy. We need to get rid of it.
Right.
So yeah, I guarantee something crazy like a night of I can't remember, like a night of
Night of
terror or a
rage.
night rage. That's it, night of rage.
Yep.
So they're sending out flyers to try and get people amped up and to cause problems, and I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. So that'll be interesting.
Well, I'm working from home tomorrow, so
Hey, the Supreme Court justices aren't safe in their home, so why would you be?
right.
Yeah, and did you see Merrick Garland was in fucking Ukraine,
Ukraine,
like
right?
last week? Like what the fuck is
No.
he doing there? What? It's so stupid. He has nothing to do with Ukraine. Why would you be over there? That's a joke.
Do you have a helmet on? Did he pick up a rifle? What the hell was he doing?
There
Handing
was
out
a
water bottles?
There was a timeout, so yeah, he was fine. Yeah, so why would you even be there if there's a dangerous war going on and it's super scary? It's so stupid. Like Ben Stiller was there. It's a joke.
Well, don't forget Bono. That was
Whoa.
they have a concert in like a bomb shelter, I believe.
And no one even bothered to come. Damn.
Oh,
Windy in there.
yes. Yeah, I saw that, and I also saw Russia was prosecuting some U.S. Soldiers of fortune.
The 18?
I would say the ones they caught in Ukraine would probably be the B team.
Oh,
Okay, yes.
uh,
It was a retard team.
But yeah, they caught some Americans in the Ukraine. They ex-military, and they're calling them soldiers of fortune, and they're going to be prosecuted. And so there's like a big people are getting riled up over it. Russia's holding our troops.
well, that WNBA basketball player, Brittany Griner, who got
Yes.
caught in Russia with, I don't know, some marijuana. They're still holding her after several months. So how long do you think they'll hold soldiers of fortune?
Well, she's good looking, so
Yeah,
that's probably part of it.
could be. That maybe the soldiers are good looking too. Who knows?
Yeah. B.A. Baracus is not very good looking.
No, this was the B team. No BA
Oh,
Baracus.
right, yeah. And Murdoch.
Also, in other headlines today, in the Gateway Pundit, Supreme Court allows a Georgia inmate on death row to die by firing squad.
Oh, that's nice of them.
Yeah, that was nice.
What was the alternative, or what's the normal electric chair?
What was that old joke? Death by Fuku or whatever.
Bumba.
Death by Bumba. Okay.
That was Jim's joke.
Was it Jim's joke?
Yeah. I don't know if it was an old joke. Definitely was an old joke,
Yes,
but I don't know
yes.
how
Yeah.
well known it was.
Sure. I don't know what they were going to do before.
So why would he choose firing squad? Just out of curiosity. Did he say, or did they say?
I don't know, but there's a lot of talk about treason and sedition and people, and then bringing back lynching and death by firing squad, and apparently death by firing squad is going to be a thing again. I don't know about lynching yet, but I know after the Juicy Smoulier thing,
Yeah.
they were trying to ban lynching. So
I think it's already
Yeah.
against the law.
Well,
So,
yes, but as far as
Extreme penalties or something like that.
yeah, as a penalty of death, it's legal. As a death penalty.
I got you.
Yeah,
So
I just-
definitely be
why don't they
interesting.
just do lethal injection? That seems the easiest. Just give somebody a chemical and then they die.
Yeah. That would seem all right.
Depends on the person. You know, if it's somebody who's really horrible, I don't know. What's that thing they do where they put somebody's head in the ground, get the ants, and they cover the head with milk and honey?
Yeah, it's called a good time.
But with Kalani, they don't cover it with milk and honey, though.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
We're not going there, though. Looks like milk and honey.
yeah, not sure how to segue off of that one.
Yeah, it's a showstopper.
So I did see the 7-Eleven prophecy came true. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that. Yeah.
They had a 7-Eleven convenience store that had gas prices at $7.11.
Oh, that was a prophecy?
I don't even know if it was.
No,
or
it
not.
was a joke because the store's called 7-Eleven. It was 7-Eleven and it showed the price of gas, 7-Eleven.
Oh, no, right, I got that, but I didn't know if somebody prophesized that or if
Actually,
it's just like a meme.
It might have been Nostradamus wrote. something like that.
I think it
Before
was
he
now
even
that you
knew
say
about
that,
gas.
yeah.
It was
or
that guy who
Slurpees.
said Donald Trump was going to win in like 2007. It was that guy.
Uh,
Oh,
He was
I
like a
think that-
religious blind guy.
I think that was Nostradamus.
Was it?
Yeah.
Nostradamus?
I think it was. So I guess the price of shit keeps going up. I don't think we're at a stopping point yet. Oh, I
No.
thought you were going to lean in and get ready to say something. I was getting ready to hear.
I was reading the time.
Oh.
Sure.
So, and do you think we actually hit $10 gas before it's all said and done?
I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know.
I think so.
I think the housing market. I don't think it. I don't know. I'm not sure who can afford 10. I think that's a deal breaker. I can afford 10, but it's going to hurt. But once again, we're dual income family. So
Right.
what's the waitress gonna do? She's gonna stop going to work.
Right. And when we talked about this like a week or two ago, when Kalani asked us what we were due to prepare, you don't have to outrun the bear, that old analogy, right? You just have to outrun your friend.
Right.
So if you can live at a higher standard than 90% of the people, or even 75% of the people, those waitresses and those people that are working those low income manual labor job kind of things, they're gonna quit being able to survive long before it's gonna impact you. Now, is that good, fair? Probably not, but when it comes to a point where you have to look out for you and your own.
Yeah, but if the local grocery stocker isn't working, where are you gonna get food? Who's gonna be stocking those grocery shelves?
Ah,
And they might start doing bailouts and stuff like, not
That's what I'm
bailouts, but stimulus checks. And that's also an easy way to bring in the digital currencies and stuff like that. Basically just try and destroy the middle class. And so give out stimulus checks to the poor people so they'll still survive. And then just wait for us to just lower down into the shit. And then we run out of money or run out of resources. Because that is one theory I heard somebody talking about. That's why they're also screwing with the food. And they're thinking if they can control the food, then they control the people, since they're losing control out of the money.
yeah, I actually heard that this week for the first time in years about, or maybe not years, but in a long time, about bringing those stimulus checks back. That now they may be looking at adding another round of stimulus to everybody later this year.
Right. Did you hear about the gas tax Biden just announced?
Oh, the gas tax,
He's taking it
Vacation or something. Yeah.
for 3 months, I think. So it'll knock off like 24 cents or something like that.
Yeah.
But
right.
then that'll come back though as well. So
Yeah.
Right.
So I got a couple views on that, in the sense that 24 cents a gallon is not a real big impact. If
Right.
you think you fill up 10 to 15 gallons, that's only a couple bucks saved at the gas tank. Yeah, it helps, but it's not going to make or break being able to buy the food you need.
correct.
Also, this is supposed to be a temporary thing. Does it turn into a more permanent thing? That I don't know. that's going to be an interesting one.
Right. And what happens if they raise rates again next month? Yeah,
Yeah.
I foresee people
They
trying
will.
to, I foresee a jump in people trying to get in a house prior to the next hike. But I think that's going to end very fast. Well, once that interest rate starts hitting about 8%, people are going to be saying, no, I'm going to rent.
Yeah.
And as things start collapsing, they're going to stop paying their rent. They're going to be like, what are you going to do? Kick me out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kick me out. I'm here for 6 months. And I don't know.
Yeah. And the Fed yesterday they said they were really hawkish. It's the hawkish they've ever seen them, not ever, but for a really long time. So it looks like from what I understand, they're gonna keep raising rates up until it breaks, and then they'll pump in money again. But they're pretty aggressively going to push interest rates up until shit really gets bad, and then they'll stop. Then they'll do QE again, and then they'll flood the markets back up with money, and then the theory is then the system will break, and that'll be the last straw.
Yeah, and if they don't do stimulus, but they keep flooding with money, I mean that money starts going to government programs.
Right.
Then they start trying to control. Okay, well, we're the ones who are feeding you.
Right.
You don't have money to buy groceries. You've got to go. We're pumping our money. We're buying all the groceries locally, and we're feeding you now. You're going to have to get your vaccination, follow whatever rules
Yep.
we employ, and that's the only way you're going to be able to survive, unless you are part of, like you said, Doug, that 10% that can stay above water during this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's if they don't even crush everybody.
So it
Yeah.
looks like we're short on time now, so we'll have to close up. Basically, price is going to keep going up, inflation up, rates up.
Yeah. That's
Prep
what I
for your
understand.
shit.
Be self-sustaining, so you don't need help.
Yes, as much as you possibly can,
Get chickens and a garden.
and find out where Kalani lives.